Prince passed away when he was 18. I guess he was in a studio playing everything, laying down this great stuff. And the guy who owned the studio called a business or a manager guy and said, I've got the next big thing. So he took a tape over to him, reel to reel probably, or maybe a cassette. And the guy couldn't believe it. He said, that's a great bass player. That's a great drummer. It was all Prince, everything on it. And met with him soon after and signed him. So the guy brought him out to the West Coast. And they went into the Guitar Center. And one of my bass players, a bass player around town, Mississippi Mike Hightower, sold Prince that Telly that he has, that middle to late 60s Telly, that was stripped down to natural wood with the aftermarket tortoiseshell pickguard. It's a good sounding guitar. If you Google Jeff Lynne, George Harrison, Tom Petty, and Prince, you'll come up sooner or later with While My Guitar Gently Weeps. It was a show for George where his son, George's son, was playing rhythm throughout the whole show. Looked just like his dad. And so Mike sold him that Telly, which was his favorite Telecaster, his favorite instrument throughout his life from that moment on. Even though he had all these custom guitars and anything that he could want, that was his favorite. And Mike sold him that. Mike Hightower. One night at the Chuck Landis Country Club in the very early 80s, my band, Top Jimmy and the Rhythm Pigs, opened up for the Boomtown Rats with Bob Geldof as their singer. That was before he was Bob Geldof, the superstar. They asked him, what's your name? Oh, I'm Bob Geldof. Okay, let's do the interview. So they had a horn section on that tour, which will date it to one specific tour. Anyway, so we opened up for him, and the place closed early, as it always did. And so we were getting ready to get out of there, and John Cont, C-O-N-T, who's since passed on, John Cont was head of security that night. And in the meantime, he was also head of security at the at the Palace on Vine Street, just above Hollywood Boulevard. Now it's known as the Palace. I think it still is. The Avalon. Now it's known as the Avalon. So John Cont was head of security there, too. So John said, if you want to catch a great show, stick around. Don't come out till a certain time. And we went out there, and there was Prince with a guitar, and he was singing too, a bass player and a drummer. That was it. They did a 2.5, 3 hour show, and to like hardly anybody. And he was amazing. What a player, what an arranger, what a singer, soloist, stylist. What facility and knowledge. And it all just seemed to fly out of him. Most people, you'd say, it just rolled right out of him. This stuff came out in bucket loads. He was great. He was really great. From the start to the finish. On that show, of course, but, throughout his career that we know of, he was amazing. I was glad I saw that. Really lucky.